Serbia's Power of Unity parade, a strategic spectacle in a great power contest. On September 20, 2025, Belgrade became the stage for Serbia's largest military parade in modern history. Codenamed Power of Unity, Snaga Jedinstva, the event was more than a display of armored vehicles and missile batteries. It was a performance of national symbolism, a signal of deterrence to neighbors, and a showcase of Serbia's carefully calibrated foreign partnerships. At a time when the Balkans have re-emerged as an arena of great power competition, this parade illuminated how Serbia is striving to assert autonomy between East and West while managing deep domestic divisions. Military pageantry in Serbia stretches back to a 19th-century decree by King Milan Obrenović, mandating martial displays on state holidays. Under Yugoslavia, grand parades in 1975 and 1985 celebrated socialist unity and national sovereignty. After the country's breakup, such spectacles grew rarer and weighed with political meaning. A 2014 parade marking Belgrade's World War II liberation invited Vladimir Putin, symbolizing a pro-Russian tilt. The 2025 revival of large-scale pageantry marked a deliberate shift from commemoration toward strategic signaling on multiple fronts. The Power of Unity parade involved over 10,000 troops and roughly 2,600 vehicles, aircraft, and naval vessels. New Belgrade's broad avenues resonated with rumbling tanks, marching infantry, and roaring fighter jets. The centerpiece was a 300-meter Serbian tricolor flag unfurled before the grandstand, reinforcing themes of national unity, sovereignty, and continuity with the Day of Serbian Unity, Freedom, and the national flag. President Aleksandar Vučić presided alongside top military and civilian officials, flanked by foreign dignitaries and military attaches from China, France, the United States, Gulf states, Azerbaijan, Hungary, and Cyprus. Both domestic and international media framed the event as evidence of Serbia's growing military capabilities and its diplomatic ambitions. The diversity of hardware underscored Serbia's multi-vector defense approach, blending domestic modernization with acquisitions from Eastern and Western suppliers. Russian legacy platforms, T-72 tanks, MiG-29 fighters, and infantry fighting vehicles that underline a historical bond with Moscow. Western jets, 12 French Rafales acquired in one of Serbia's largest defense deals with a European partner. Chinese air defenses, first European operator of the Fk-3, HQ-22 long-range and HQ-17AE short-range systems, rivaling Russia's S-300 and the US Patriot. Israeli and Emirati unmanned assets, Hermes 900 UAVs, loitering munitions, and PULS rocket launchers with 300-kilometer reach. Indigenous platforms, Lazar 3 and Milosh armored carriers, modernized Pacers and Oganj rocket systems, and the homegrown Shadow 25LM drone. Western radars and modernized Soviet Neva systems for layered air defense. Riverine boats, H-145M helicopters, and Toyota Hilux vehicles symbolizing rapid reaction and multinational deployment capabilities. By juxtaposing systems from Russia, China, France, Israel, the UAE, and Serbia's own defense industry, Belgrade sent a clear message: it will balance between blocs to maximize strategic autonomy. President Vučić's foreign policy has long sought to avoid full alignment with any single power. While pursuing EU membership and participating in NATO's Partnership for Peace, Serbia maintains robust ties with Russia, deepening cooperation with China, and expanding defense and trade links with Middle Eastern and Eurasian partners. The parade's guest list and equipment roster visually manifested this delicate balancing act. The display of Chinese Fk-3 and HQ-17AE systems marked a milestone in China's drive to embed its defense exports in Europe. Beyond hardware transfers, the two countries plan joint exercises, cyber defense cooperation, and intelligence sharing. For China, Serbia offers a foothold in the EU's periphery and a test case for its growing role as an alternative arms supplier. For Belgrade, China represents a partner unconstrained by Western political conditions, though Brussels warns such deep ties may complicate accession prospects. Despite logistical hurdles and pressure from Western sanctions, Russia's T-72s and MiG-29s made a visible appearance. High-level meetings between Vučić and Putin underscore the personal rapport that sustains Russia-Serbia defense ties. Yet Serbia's shift toward Western and Chinese procurement highlights Moscow's limited capacity to meet Serbia's evolving needs amid its own military commitments. Serbia remains formally neutral, yet its recent purchase of Rafales and continued participation in NATO programs signal gradual convergence with Western defense standards. Vucic's rhetoric warning of regional alliances involving Croatia, Albania, Kosovo, and Slovenia reflects domestic political posturing aimed at justifying increased armaments and reinforcing national unity. Serbia's acquisitions of long-range rockets, advanced radars, and strategic drones have been portrayed as deterrents by Belgrade, but they stoke fears among neighbors. Croatia's own Rafales and Leopards, Albania's modernization drive, and the Albania-Kosovo-Croatia trilateral pact fuel a reciprocal arms race and deepen mutual suspicions. Bosnia-Herzegovina and Kosovo remain tinderboxes, with periodic NATO/EUFOR alerts and inflammatory nationalist rhetoric undermining regional stability. The parade exposed Europe's dilemma, encouraging Serbia's strategic alignment without pushing it away. Washington has bolstered security assistance to NATO's southeastern flank, while Brussels demands adherence to the EU's common security and defense policy. Serbia's outreach to China and Israel, alongside its ostentatious embrace of Russia's legacy equipment, complicates its EU accession path and tests the reach of Western normative influence. Serbia's EU ambitions collide with its defense partnerships. Brussels has cautioned that misaligned security policies, particularly arms deals outside the EU framework, could stall accession talks. Meanwhile, extension of political conditionality on governance and rule of law issues is portrayed in Belgrade as unwarranted interference, driving the government into the arms of alternative partners who attach no democratic strings. The Power of Unity parade was a theatrical assertion of Serbia's desire for strategic autonomy, a domestic unifier at a time of political polarization, and a diplomatic tableau for great power engagement. Yet beneath the roar of engines and the gleam of new systems lies a precarious calculus. Domestically, unity appeals mask deep fissures over governance, media freedom, and Kosovo. Regionally, the display has intensified an arms spiral that threatens Balkan stability. Internationally, Serbia's balancing act frustrates both Brussels and Moscow, even as Beijing eyes a showcase for its defense ambitions. Looking forward, Serbia faces a critical test. Can it translate parade ground grandeur into peaceful development and genuine reconciliation with its neighbors? Will EU conditionality push Belgrade closer to non-Western partners, or can Brussels craft a cooperative framework that accommodates Serbia's autonomy while anchoring it in European norms? The answers will shape whether the power of unity becomes a symbol of lasting strength or a fleeting spectacle in Europe's shifting strategic landscape.